Hi guys, I am back from Egypt. If you're new here, my name is Al. Welcome to my channel. And if you are one of my subscribers, you know that I was on vacation, and during this time I left a few videos for you that I filmed early in December. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to mention, these were stories from the book, The Law and the Promise. So if you're looking for more success stories, this is a book that you're going to love. You have in that the information that you need to achieve the same results that those people achieved, okay? It's a great read. But today I am sharing my own success story with you guys. So I'm going to share as many important details as I can so you can know how to achieve that without any action and most importantly, without any effort. So let's get into it, guys. This situation happened with a good friend of mine. And just as a background story, so you understand what happened, we had been in a relationship before that. But in the end, at least for me, I have realized that we were better friends, and we had a talk and we decided that we would give our best to focus on a friendship. We always had the best banter. Our relationship, our exchanges had always been very playful and extremely sarcastic. But somehow that week, things had changed. Not in a terrible way, but the dynamic wasn't the same. Certainly, he wasn't being sarcastic and mean as he typically is, but he was being kind and friendly and, not really teasing me at all. So in one of our exchanges, I just replied, you know what? You are going soft on me. At the moment, I did not think anything about what I was saying. But looking back, I was probably expecting us to laugh about it or talk about it. And that's not exactly how it went down. There was a silence on his end. And suddenly he looked at me and was like, listen, I know that we joke a lot, but I just want to make clear that, we are just friends, okay? You have things going on, I have things going on, we have been that, we have done that, it did not work, and I just want to make sure that you know that. We moved on. I was listening to that and I was like, where is that coming from? Because in my mind it was not making sense. But on the other hand, it had kind of hurt me in a way that he was saying that, okay? So at that moment, I realized, okay, there is something in my self-concept that I have to work on. Because not only I created that experience, but I also identified myself with it, with my emotional reaction to it. Within, I felt like, oh wow, that hurts, right? And this is what I say, it's easy to see something in the 3D and be like, oh, it's their fault, they are hurting me. But you as the creator, you hold the power of the narrative. And if you decide that you are being a victim, then you are creating a victim story, a victim life, a victim mentality. This is not the kind of life that you want to have. Taking responsibility is recognizing, okay, there is something in my self-concept that I have to work on. That was pretty clear for me. Pretty clear, my ego, got bruised. It really felt the blow. And if that was not the case, if I had not identified myself with that, I would have laughed about it and told him, well, you are crazy if you think that I want something with you. That was not about it. But that wasn't the case. So at that moment, I knew I had to work on my self-concept, but I could not deal with that, right? I was in a situation and I had to react to it. So I reminded myself, hey, in the 3D, you are friends, good friends. So treat him as you would treat any good friend, right? And that's what I did. I looked at him, smiled, and I said, I don't know where this is coming from, but I only said that because I miss the banter. I miss your sarcasm, you being a mean Scrooge that you typically are. And you have been too nice. And at the moment when I said that, he started laughing and was like, oh my God, I made a fool of myself. I'm sorry. I don't know why I reacted that way. And I was like, no problem. It's fine. It's okay. It happens. So that day when I got home, I looked at the feeling that I was carrying with me within. I decided that I would not drown in it, but I would observe it. And it's best done when you start asking questions about how you're feeling and so on. And that's what I did. I asked myself, how am I feeling? Rejected, unimportant, not pursued, forgotten? What was that? Why was I feeling that way? And how come someone can make me feel that way? So I came up with all of these questions, and in the end, what I realized was it was not about him and his reaction and what he did and what he said. It was about me and who I perceived myself to be at that moment in that conversation with him. So this is a self-concept issue, and this is something that I can work on. So I knew that if I had not worked through those feelings, I would end up recreating the same experience with him or other people. And that's how we create what we don't want. So we have that feeling, and typically we blame on someone else. They make me feel that way. And we think we move on, but we continue experiencing the same thing over and over again, because it's not about what happened in the 3D. It's about how we are defining ourselves. And after working on my feelings, what I did was I reassured myself who I am. Okay. So I went through all of those affirmations. I am irresistible. I am unforgettable. All my exes know that I am the one who got away. They know what I bring to the table. They know that I was the best thing that had ever happened to them. And I said that, I felt as that person, that version of me. And then I moved on with my day. Saturday, we had plans with other people. And I remember I was in my bathroom, combing my hair. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, he regrets the breakup. He regrets that we are not together anymore. And I felt that. But somehow a little voice within me, and it was the first time that it happened, a little voice within me asked me, do you need validation? Do you need a feedback? Do you need him to tell you that? And I felt really peaceful and serene. And my answer to myself was, no, I don't. I don't need him to tell me anything. I just know that this is the case because this is who I am. So in that situation, you can see that it didn't matter how someone reacted to me. It didn't matter at all. In my state, I was already that person. So I know who I am. I don't need someone to validate who I am. And I think this is a problem that I often see in people is they are fine with affirming or visualizing, but they are still looking around for that validation. They want someone to agree with them in the 3D so that they can feel that they are that person. And how is that different from how we have learned life is, or how the majority of people live their lives? I am what other people tell me I am. This is not being a creator. When you are a manifester, when you know how to consciously manifest, you know that you have to be it to see it. So you embody that which you want to see reflected. And that's how the 3D surrenders to you. Of course, I'm not telling you live in your imagination and that's the only reality. Yes, imagination is the only reality. but you want to experience it too. What I'm saying is you have to be that person and to know who you are instead of always going to the 3D and waiting for a validation from the 3D to agree with you and say that you really are that person. You decide. And when you decide, this is who I am, then you are going to see that result because the 3D is going to catch up and surrender to you. So that night, my friend said something that blew my mind. And of course it made sense, but between me saying that in front of the mirror and him telling me those words were, 12 hours the most, it happened really quickly. So he told me, I often regret that we broke up. I often think about if we could have done things differently, if we could have tried harder. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, yes. The only thing that I changed was who I felt I was. So it proves to me that the block is not in the reflection, it's not what people are telling you. The block is in the self-concept. It happened effortlessly. It was just a shift in my own foundation. He wasn't involved in that shift. I never affirmed for him. It was all about me. So don't get distracted with the reflection. Because in the end, it's not about it. Whether you want a specific person or money or job or whatever you want, it's not about it. It's always about you. Are you the person who can have that reaction, who can have that success, who can have that money? Is your awareness of yourself. Stand in your way. Some people are firm for what they desire. And this is going to be true, but only if you are the person who they can fall in love with. If you are the person who can achieve that success, and everything goes back to your own foundation, okay? So remember this. Go back to yourself. Don't get too distracted with the reflection. It's going to change. You can do this, guys. That's it from me. Thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, give me a like, subscribe to my channel. We are going to talk soon. Bye, guys.